Hello and welcome to another episode of Last Call Games. Now you may remember from my tweets and posts and the video I made that I posted while I was over there that I was recently in Toledo, Ohio for Bashcon 2013. Oh, I got the shirt right here. Oof. I actually wore this in one of the videos. Now, I didn't take much video while I was actually out there, but here's what I do have, and I'm also going to show you what I picked up while I was over there. So enjoy, and thank you again for all of you who subscribe and watch the videos. We just recently passed 500 YouTube subscribers, which is about 500 more than I thought I would have. So thank you all very much, and there will be another regular video. I'll review a game sometime. This is very soon. So enjoy.
Now, as I said, I didn't get much actual video footage taken, and the main floor is really just more of a board game, role-playing game area. So I didn't actually spend a whole ton of time there. But I did walk around. I did pick out this cool, this Pac-Man keychain phone charm that you plug into the top of your phone, and it's on there. And I didn't get to show it off in there. I got that from this place called Pixel Visions, which also made these really cool like video or retro video game sculpture things out of, I think, little beads. I'll show their business cards so you guys can check them out. There was also another place called CJ's Games, which again was more of a role-playing type thing because it was more of a role-playing type of event. They had like earrings and stuff that were like for like made of dice and stuff. Now, where I just spent most of my time was downstairs in the game room, where a couple of guys from this local arcade type place brought a few arcade games. This place is called K-Dog's Arcade. It's nearby Findlay, Ohio. Here's their thing, their cards. They had a game called Jubeat, which apparently this was the only copy of the game in like all of North America, or all of the Midwest, I think is what they said. And it seemed kind of interesting, like a tapping game. They had some Poppin' Music, which is an arcade game that I don't think they actually sell in the U.S. A couple Initial D games, as you saw at the very beginning there, and that was. Oh, and they had a DDR machine as well. On Saturday, I actually entered into a Smash Brothers competition and promptly lost in the first 2 rounds that I played in, because I'm not very good at Smash. But still, it was a great time, and I might go again later, if I'm in the Toledo area. So, and now let's take a look at the stuff I got while I was over in Toledo. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff here. Now, as I said, I didn't get all this actually at the convention. So let's just start with the stuff I did get at the convention. Okay, so this is the stuff I got just for walking in the door. I got a 30th anniversary badge, which I need to focus on. I bought. There was a special edition because this is the 30th one. There was the 30th anniversary badge, which I bought because it was like $10 more, I think. And the main thing that it came with was the shirt, which I actually wore in a in the introduction to the video about the EA sports or the EA covers, which I published while I was over there. So I'll link to that in the description too, but it's a shirt. And another thing I got for just walking in the door, so I'm gonna show that thing. Well, there's the program, which is a program. But here's another thing I got. Focus. There we go. Okay, there we go. It's a official Bashcon 30 or 6-sided die. I wish I'd grabbed another one of these because they actually had some extras. But it's a pretty nice looking die, I think. Okay. Put that over there. I keep forgetting that die. It sat in my backpack for over a week after I got back. Okay. And of course the dog showed up again because I'm in the kitchen or the dining room. Always in here. Okay, so got the Bashcon program. Yay. And then another thing, they were literally just handing these out to anyone who came in was a BioShock Infinite Siege of Columbia board game. Which I'm not sure if it's actually been released yet. It's listed on Amazon and it's about $50, so I paid $25 to go into the convention, and I got a $50 game for just walking in. It's a board game with a crap load of components. Like, here, so let me zoom in a little bit more. That's just the list of all the components in this. So yeah, and then it was more of a board and role-playing game convention than a video game one. But the board game that they had was at least based off a video game. Arguably probably my favorite game of 2013. But yeah, I haven't actually opened it yet because the problem playing board games is that I need like people over to play them. But regardless. Okay, now let's take a look at some stuff that I also got while at the actual convention. On Sunday, if you ever go to a convention on Sundays, everyone wants to get rid of stuff. So I got a couple t-shirts. This is, I'm not 100%, I think this is a role-playing game shirt, but it looks cool and it was like $2. And then this is a anthology board game, apparently based off Stonehenge, which was also like $2. And then I got a couple. Then there was one guy who was actually selling video games. And did I get his business card? Now I'm trying to figure out if I got his business card or not. I think it was this one. Otakutopia. He had a ton of anime there. Will also apparently be at ACEN, or Anime Central, in, was it May? June? May 17th. In Rosemont. It's Chicago's anime convention. And apparently he's going to be at Detroit's anime convention too. But regardless, got a couple games that I hadn't necessarily been super looking for, but was still interested to find. This is Rise of the Dragon for the Sega CD. It's, from what I've heard, it's like an adventure type game, kind of like it's a point and click type adventure game, kind of like Snatcher. And I got it. He was selling it for $10. I've seen on eBay it's like $20-$30 complete, and this is a complete version. Though
case is cracked, but that's to be expected with these stupid cases. But I mean, it's got the CD. See, the case is completely broken. Actually, the case is completely broken on both sides. It's got the CD. It's got the manual. So that's a pretty good deal. Then for another $10, I got Yakuza Dark Souls, which is like a zombie spin-off of the Yakuza series. So GameStop has that for like $15, and this was complete too. So I thought it was some pretty good deals right to be had right there. I went to a couple of Goodwills. Goodwills and Savers, thrift stores. This is all just the thrift store stuff together. Because I grabbed Roller Coaster Tycoon, the expansions. I don't think I actually had the expansions for the original game, so I grabbed it. It was like $2. Hockey DVD. I'm big into hockey. You could probably tell. And then F-22 Fighting, or F-22 Lightning 2. And for the most part, I'm really just trying to get boxed PC games. This one actually looks pretty good. Because whenever I would buy, now I'm not showing anything on the screen at the moment. Whenever I would buy PC games when I was a kid, either A, they just came in the jewel cases, like this, because they were like reissues and stuff. Or I would probably throw away the box because I was an idiot and I was a child. That's what happened to the box for Pokemon Yellow. And I also found a Naki N64 controller that has a rumble motor built into it. It feels a lot better than the stock N64 controller as far as the D-pad or the analog stick goes. I haven't actually tried it yet, but it still feels pretty good. And yeah, that's all the stuff I got at the thrift store. Now, one of the few actual video game only stores in Toledo is called Video Game Underground. So you can see, there we go, Video Game Underground. I'll probably post a picture of it like here. So I went there, and of course, one thing I got was a business card holder, because you know, when you think video games, you think business card holders. But regardless, okay. So on to the actual games I got there. Got a Pizza Hut demo CD for the PS1, which despite the sticker, it was actually like $1. A copy of Strikers 1945, which I've heard very good things about. As it's like a shooter game, if I'm not mistaken. I think it actually might be based off the 1945 games. And a copy, I'm still trying to get all the Dreamcast games. A copy of Incoming for the Dreamcast. The only problem is I can't get it to load, which is a little bit unfortunate. Unfortunately, I didn't bring my Dreamcast with me, so I couldn't test it there. But so the next store I went to was Allied Records. This is, I believe, the location on Reynolds Road, if you are at all interested. And I found a copy of Donkey Konga, which I've actually been looking for because I've had the drums for like 6 months to a year, but I haven't had the actual a game, and I couldn't find one. Then I got a copy of Fusion Frenzy for the original Xbox, because I'm actually trying to start collecting a lot of Xbox exclusive games, because it's kind of an interesting little niche, and Xbox games are obscenely cheap right now. This one was you can't see that, $1.99. The Donkey Kong guy I think was $6 or $4. So I mean these two together were $6. And the last game type store I went to, I'll show that later. Last game type store I went to was called Replay. They actually have various locations throughout the town, but I just put them all together because I don't really feel like remembering which one's which. First thing I got was a GameStop GameCube controller because I needed to have a controller in order to enter that Super Smash Bros. Tournament that I mentioned before. And of course I decided not to bring one with me, even though I have like 6. But yeah, that was kind of stupid. And continuing on with my Dreamcast collection, finding Dreamcast games is getting harder and harder, it seems, every day. They're not expensive, because this copy of Jeremy McGrath's Supercross was literally 50 cents. But they're getting more and more difficult to find. A lot of times if you go to a game store or a record store or whatever, it'll look like they used to have a ton of Dreamcast games and they only have like 5. And 2 of them are like NFL 2K. But that's a bummer. And then I got some more Dreamcast games. As I said, I'm really going towards the Dreamcast or the Xbox. I said, okay, got Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance. I keep calling it Subsistence for some reason. For $3. Gun Griffin Allied Strike, which is actually a sequel to it's the first Gun Griffin games actually came out on the Saturn. Shadow the Hedgehog, not an exclusive, but yeah, it was actually the most expensive game at $4. And Brute Force, which was actually a game that I remember Microsoft had hyped to no end, and then kind of landed with a thud. So that's pretty much all the video games that I got. Then I went to Barnes & Noble because there was one right by our hotel. And I still had $15 in gift cards from there from like forever ago. I picked up a Retro Gamer magazine. I believe it's the most recent one. Or at least was the most recent one when I was there. Of course, the thing down here has a giant sticker over it. I also found Space Invaders Bowling, which is actually seems like less bowling and more Space Invaders, but I might do videos on one or both of these two things later on. And finally, not actually video game related, but when I go places, I like to collect shot glasses. And I like to go to hockey games. Big hockey fan. I actually have a hockey blog, which I'll link to below because I went to a hockey game in Toledo. I got a Toledo walleye shot glass. I wrote an entire blog about the Toledo walleye game I went to. That will be most certainly linked to in the description. And yeah, just it's a nice looking shot glass. So that's it for this one. Thank you guys again for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, feel free to do so. The link is down, or the big button that YouTube has is down below. And there'll be another video soon. Another regular review. I haven't actually done a game review in a couple weeks. So thank you again very much, and we'll see you soon.